What to do when you don't want to do what must be done. I've been putting this episode off for a couple of hours now. It's relatively late in the day. It's about 9:45, 9:46, something like that. For whatever reason, I just did not want to do this episode. And the reason that I'm choosing to talk about this is because you're going to find yourself in the same place. If you do not know this place, then you soon will. Perhaps it's like day one in business, you're like super excited, but eventually you're going to discover that what must be done is coming into conflict with your ability, your desire, your want to not do it. And what do you do? What do you do? What most people do, they are going to choose to not do it. Because I stuff it, it doesn't matter. Why would it even matter? And most of the time, the actual missed episode doesn't make much difference. But where the risk comes in is that first missed episode becomes a second missed episode. The second becomes a third becomes fourth, and now you have strike, and the momentum is gone. Look, first of all, you got to get good enough to actually do something on a regular basis and get committed to that and go, you know what, I'm going to commit to doing this thing that needs to be done. But you will be challenged. I am challenged. Like, I am tired. I don't want to be here right now. And yet I am choosing to do this. Why? Because I'm committed to doing the work, committed to showing up, committed irrespective of how I feel to making the effort to be here and go, you know what? I want to go to bed right now. I want to curl up and sleep. But I have reached the end of the day and there has been no episode recorded, so I have a choice. I had a choice. I'm like, I can call it a day, go to bed, and break my commitment, or I can go, you know what, I'm just going to turn it on. I'm going to speak to this. Most people don't want to talk about this stuff. It's one of, all the high energy stuff, all like, yeah, rah, 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 but that will only get you so far. Eventually, you're going to have something greater calling you forward. What is that? Well, there is a commitment to yourself to be in integrity with your agreements. If you said you were going to do something, then you do it. And this has significant benefits. Over time, this allows you to take on greater challenges, knowing that you have the reps of where you have met your commitments. And so while it might seem that it is just a small thing, just a small miss, the truth is that there is significantly more at stake. Why? Because you will get better at time if you do today's episode. If I do today's episode, I go to bed in integrity. Now, am I in perfect integrity? No, I'm not. I chose to go up to see my family. The borders have just opened, and that took considerably longer than I was hoping, but I greatly enjoyed it as well. There was a card game of that was just like awesome. Loved it. Like between my nieces and nephews, my daughter, my sister, and we played this great game. Super fun. Got to go in the pool, but there was a driving up to the Gold Coast, about an hour and a half up, hour and a half down. Fortunately, the border patrol, the border police was relatively mild, but it has been a big day. I was up at 5 a.m. doing my initial work for the day, training from 6 to 7. New trainer, because my regular trainer is down in Melbourne. And so there's a lot of new movements that's demanding, but the choice came, what am I going to do? And I'm here. Is it the most epic episode of all time? Perhaps. Perhaps because it's talking to the difficulties of business, the difficulties of being a leader, the difficulties of taking on the challenges of running your own business and being committed to what must be done. I was listening to Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson on the way back, and he was like, speaking of the requirement to go live daily. He's like, whatever you do, find a way, whether it's a blog, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a video, but you commit to that for at least 365 days. He spoke of a gentleman called Seth Godin, a legend in marketing terms. And he was like, look, Seth was very generous with his time and will speak to anyone who has at least 100 episodes on their podcast. The quickest way to do that is to go daily on an episode every day for 100 episodes. At minimum, that's going to be a bit over 3 months, but that's your quickest time. If you want Seth on the podcast, go daily for 3 months. It is a test. And when the doubt comes, when the fatigue comes, when the question mark comes, should I do it? I don't want to do it. That you are committed to what you said you would do and you get it done. I know that I have missed at least 2 episodes so far. There is 2 days. Maybe you pick it up, maybe you don't. You're just like, oh, what's going on? But there have been 2 missed episodes so far, and tonight would have been a third. I'm like, no, I will not allow that to happen. I'm going to speak to the requirement to transcend what I want to do and go and get what must be done. And that is a choice. It is a decision. And on the other side of this is the joy that on the initial choice to not do this, I could have gone to bed. But I would know that I didn't get through this small challenge. And as we discussed before, that puts me at risk of not being able to take the bigger challenges that will come in time. All right, that's all I got for you now. Episode is done. Look forward to seeing you on the next episode as we continue this journey into the power of systems to create results. Look forward to seeing you then.